All right, so this is 2020 Polestar 1. This is the first of the Polestar branded, full Polestar brand. If you don't know the Polestar brand originally, it was like the AMG division of the Volvo brand. But now it's their separated brand that they are going to have a more electrified platform because they are one of those manufacturers that has that announcement of a full electrification. And so this is the Polestar 1. So this is the first of the full Polestar cars. And it has a Volvo feeling to it, but it also has things that make it, as you can see, there's no Volvo logo, but it does have the Polestar logo, which if you're familiar with the Polestar products before, had that logo on it. And it's quite a unique starting point, I believe. It feels very Mustang-like. This specific platform is, as you can see here by the announcement on the fender here, is the high modulus CFRP body optimized carbon fiber layout. So they're to save weight, they're basing this car on a carbon fiber reinforced plastic bonded with steel, if I understand that correctly, chassis. This engine, an electric platform, 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, supercharged and turbocharged, so dual charge engine, and does have also battery power. So the front wheels are driven by the gas engine, petrol engine, and then the rear wheels here are driven by the electric motors. It's my understanding that there's 2 motors in the rear, and then the batteries are positioned here and then down the center console. I think it said there were 3 batteries, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but anyway, so that combined together makes it a performance hybrid. It combines 600 horsepower, 700 or so pound-feet of torque. So good numbers. The car does feels very light. It also feels quite significantly fast. Very, very good sized brakes there. Akebono in the front, and I can't remember what the brand was in the rear, but huge brake calipers. What look like to be, I think those are steel rotors. Pirelli P0 tires with the more electric kind of focused, energy, low rolling resistance type of tire. So yeah, that's exterior wise. It's kind of a good looking car. I don't think the pictures that you see online really do it justice. It does have the spoiler there that pops up, electric spoiler. Some cool little cues, very, very understated design. Little carbon fiber bits here. This kind of unique square grille. Yeah. Door handles pop out, so you just push that there. Door opens. It's got quite a long door, I kind of keep referring to this car as an electric Mustang, or Swedish Mustang. It does have a Mustang vibe, probably because I'm very familiar with the Mustang, but yeah, more carbon fiber here, and more of them talking about how it is that platform, that carbon fiber reinforced plastic, carbon fiber on the door panel here. Very good finishing of all the surfaces and edges, and there's leather everywhere. The smell of the leather in the interior is quite nice. A lot of cool stitching and design work on the seats. Very comfortable seat. Yes, but they've taken away a little bit of the Volvo-ness. So if you notice on a lot of the Volvos, it has the Swedish flag on the seat. They've taken that away, but they still do have the since 1959 on the buckle there. The steering wheel is very Volvo. Nice finishing in the back seat here, with the way that the metal part of it goes all the way around to the other side. And then it nice across the tops of the back seats there. The seats are very, I would say, unusable. There's a button here that moves the seat backward and forward to egress and ingress in the back. If you push this all the way, it kind of does its own little electrical thing to allow for people to get in and out of the back there as it goes forward there. You can see it's kind of slow. Manual stuff is much faster, but yeah, let's interrupt it. Yellow seat belts, which I think are kind of a nice touch. It's a good little, you know, just some accent. It adds a little bit of fun. Bowers & Wilkins stereo, which I can tell you sounds very good. See, this is just, it's kind of slow, but you get it. All right, so in the driver's seat here, screen, all digital gauges. Let's close the door here. Hear the door noise. Pretty solid door sounding closure of the door there. Crystal shifter, which is kind of a, I mean, I don't know. To me, I like a better, more like the Volvo shifter, but whatever. Paddles behind the steering wheel here. Carbon fiber on the around the you know, driver gauges there, and then carbon fiber here. Good visibility from the car, and then also there is a pretty much fully glass roof. And there's a little Polestar logo that illuminates, that you can see. Nice, I like the visors, nice and simple visor there. It's just it's a nice car to be in. A high center console because this is part of the battery. There's a couple data ports in there. That's how you hook up to the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, stuff like that. Starter here, and I'll kind of flip it on. Very basic startup, like any hybrid. You get the ready there. Foot on the brake, it'll probably fire up completely. There we go. It's a pretty standard when it comes to Volvo on the sounds and stuff like that. So they're carrying all that over to the Polestar. We'll turn it off. But yeah, interior wise, very nice interior to be in. Very comfortable. I took about 100+ mile trip from Long Beach up here to Willow Springs because this car is going to be doing some testing today at Willow Springs, and it was very comfortable drive. No complaints at all. I would like to take it on an even longer trip, a couple 100 miles. But yeah, that's basically the interior. Now, what I think is very kind of unique. Let's do the trunk here. Oh, there we go. What is cool that they do to kind of showcase the electrical aspect of the car. We have all the connectors in orange, you know, that signify that it is has an electrification to it. And they label everything. So signal connector, DC charge, AC charge, ERAD-L, MSD, CIDD, battery 3, ERAD-R. And they kind of show you that aspect and make it very obvious that this is electrified. Here's the plug-in for the plug-in hybrid. So you can open this, and they've got the jack and then the plug to plug it in and get it charged, because it is a plug-in hybrid. They also show you, again, that carbon fiber to show you that it does have that carbon fiber based platform And this, they're showing you that in the, you know, in the trunk lid there. So they're kind of letting you know that there's a lightweight focus to the car. Back here is for the, you know, there's no full-size spare, so that's like the air and stuff. And then behind this tab here is the triangle, which comes on most European cars. It's a little bit of a tricky trunk to close. Yeah, more carbon fiber back here. Let's pop the hood open. And I will show you the hood kind of has this clamshell opening design here. It's got a very flimsy hood opening piece there. So transversely mounted engine, because they're driving the front wheels and not the rear wheels. What is very nice that you'll see when you open the hood is the Öhlins here suspension. So they allow you to, of course they want you to look in the manual to see how to do it, but they allow you to adjust the Öhlins dampers, which is kind of cool. But I didn't see one for the rear, so I guess you can only adjust the fronts unless there's like an access panel or something, but they don't make it very obvious. More hybrid powertrain controllers, carbon fiber airbox, which is kind of cool. You can see the turbo there. Supercharger, I don't really see, but I'm imagining it's over. Oh, looks like there's the supercharger. Yeah, you know, pretty basic under here. Everything seems pretty solid. A very lightweight hood, and kind of loud when you close it, but yeah, pretty unique car, and will be interesting to see how it performs. I've gotten on it a little bit, and yeah, it feels pretty potent. You know, 600 horsepower. But yeah, it's not a bad automobile. Seems like it handles pretty good. Brakes are very, very effective. Almost too effective at slow speeds. They're a little grabby. But that tends to be what I find with some of these. Oh, the other thing, let's see, let's flip this. Let's go over so there's different drive modes here because it's a hybrid. And if you go into drive mode here, we've got all-wheel drive, pure, which is, so, you know, obviously all-wheel drive is driving all the wheels, which I imagine they have for like snow or a very wet driving surface. Pure electric, which is the second drive mode here, which is just rear-wheel drive, so it's just the electric, which I think the range was 60 miles in pure electric. Then there's hybrid, which is everyday, which I'm imagining is their normal drive mode. And then power, so sporty driving on track or on windy roads or something like that. You know, and I'm imagining that it alivens, if that's a word. I don't think it's a word, but I just made that up, maybe. It gets everything going in the power mode. I believe it's 8-speed transmission, 8 gears through and it does have a regen for the charging the electric. The one thing that I can't seem to find is, which I like in the Panamera e-hybrid, is the ability to turn it into where the gas engine is being used to charge. All right, so before, I did not know that you can put it in hold and charge mode. So I was saying that's one thing I did not like. You go into, let's see, I'll go back. This is the main screen when you turn the car on. When you swipe it to the right, it gives you a bunch of different, and I did this yesterday when I picked the car up to turn the lane keeping off, but I did not see, because you have to scroll down, that it has hold and charge. So if you want to save the battery, charge, and it will turn. You can hear, I don't know if you heard that, but turns the gas engine on, and charges the battery. So there you go. And I'm gonna do that all the way back from Willow Springs to Orange, and I don't know, just to charge the battery, see what happens. All right, so there. 13.1, slower. So, figured I'd do just a little bit on driving impressions of the car, because I'm actually kind of impressed by it. I think after you get to spend time with the vehicle and get to do certain things with it, it grows on you in certain ways. So, just got done at Willow Springs doing the testing and doing certain things, and then on Streets of Willow, so using that track mostly for acceleration, braking, and quarter mile. But being able to put the car into a more spirited driving kind of scenario, and really get on the car and get the engine to work. I think it being a hybrid, of course, has the personality when you're driving it around in hybrid mode, which is, if you go to the drive modes, is the one it defaults to every time it turns on. So every time you turn the car off, turn the car back on, it's going to be in that hybrid mode. It's going to be the most docile, the most domestic, because it's a hybrid. It can have those multiple personalities. And so in that mode, it's very calm, it's very quiet. The engine doesn't make a lot of noise. It's trying to use as much of the electric motor and battery system as possible. Now, if you then go into, for power, sporty driving, which I'm in now, it keeps the gas engine on, keeps it fired up. And if you swipe here and go to charging the battery or holding it, which is what I should have done this morning when I was driving, but it gave me an idea of what the car is like to drive daily, like what you would want to do with it. Now that I know that you could do that, I'm much more pleased with the car. I wish it would make it a little bit easier to know. It's actually set up like an iPhone, so it gives you the little dot, and I didn't think it was like that. So now that I know, I was shown, I learned. But now I'm charging, so I have it in charge, in power, so the engine is on. The car is a little bit more alive, and I do like the way that it feels, and the way that it acts, and how it's a little bit more woken up. I like cars that have multiple personalities, and that's why I've always liked about the 911. And I like that this car, and what I like about performance hybrids and this car being one of those, is that you can have this car that does all these different, it fills all these roles. It can be this all electric, quiet car that you're just driving around town. I don't need the gas motor. I just need to get to the store. And then, oh, I'm out. Oh, I get on the highway. I want to charge. You can charge the battery. Oh, look, there's a windy road. Let me get off. Let me put it in performance and let it all come alive. Let it use all of what it has to offer to help me drive the car and have an enjoyable time in it. With that being said, I really like the seating position of the car. I like how, like a 911, and I'm comparing to the 911 because I think that's a good benchmark for something like this. Even though they don't have a performance hybrid version of one yet. I like, you don't see the hood. You see it just drops off. It's a very good visibility. And actually, the reason I have this camera view here is because I have it suctioned to the roof, which is glass, which I figured it would be kind of cool to see what that looked like. So, there you go. But the car is very comfortable. When I was on the track at Streets of Willow and I was going around the track, it handled really well. It handled the bumps really well. It has Öhlins suspension on it in terms of dampers. Yeah, they perform awesome. It seems like a very good, well-rounded car. So I think they probably know what they're doing. Now, having driven a Polestar 2, that's coming. That will probably be coming next or later, and we'll do some stuff on that. But Polestar 1, I think, for their first kind of run at a performance hybrid carbon fiber chassis, I think they're doing a great job. So there you go. I think that probably covers. I think that covers everything. I'll see if I can put. I did a little bit of. I'll try to put the lap in here, or so you can see it on the track. But yeah, there you go. Pretty much it. And stay tuned because I would like to do another one when we do the Polestar 2. So hopefully we'll get to do that. And again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.